Good morning students. Let me start commerce with your first chapter, that is historical background of commerce in the subcontinent. First of all, you have to know about what is commerce. Commerce is the exchange of goods and services within the country or outside the countries. The buying and selling of the product within the country or outside the country, that is commerce. Introduction. We see the introduction. Commerce has been in practice since time immemorial. It is a part and partial of human life. Whether it is king or a common man, it emerged as an economic activity mainly as a barter system, which means exchange of goods for goods. It was so comfortable for the neighboring villages, states, even countries to practice the barter in the absence of the medium of exchange in the form of money today. However, the concept of money occupied its predominance when scarce resources were to be either exchanged between parties in needs or the countries in demand, and over a period of time barter economy took the dimension of monetary economy where money was used as a medium of exchange of goods and services. So commerce is practiced since time immemorial, that we cannot tell the exact time or year when the commerce is began to practice. We can't able to tell the time or particular time or year when the commerce is came into practice and all. So it is immemorial. It is practiced since the ancient period itself. Since very old age where barter system exists. So barter system exists since very old age itself. Barter system means exchange of goods and services with other goods. For example, if one person have more wheat and other person have more rice, they will exchange the goods. If the person have the surplus wheat, if one person have the surplus wheat, the another person have the surplus rice, they will exchange that goods where there is no money as a medium of exchange during that period. Neighboring village, states, even countries followed this system. Later there is a scarcity of resources. Resourcesக்கு வந்து scarcity இருக்கு, பற்றாக்குறையா இருந்துச்சு resources. So if one person have any goods only, they will exchange and get what they want. If one person have any goods with them, they will exchange that goods and they will get what they want. If there is no goods with them, then how will they get the goods what they want? How they will get the goods what they want? So when there is a scarcity of resources, the concept of money came into existence. So the scarcity of resources இருக்கும்போது தான் the moneyன்னு ஒரு விஷயம் வந்து came into existence. Okay, even when there is a rise or fall of culture and social activity and changes in the ruling parties, that is dynasty. Even when there is a changes in dynasties, but still the course of commerce activities continued further and further, not only within a country but also between the nations of the world. However, Tamil Nadu remained to be the founder of trade and commerce both within and outside, as evidence in various ancient literatures like Sangam. So even when there is a rise or fall of culture and social activity and changes in the ruling party, that is dynasty, still the commerce activity continued further and further within the country or nations of the world. So என்ன சேஞ்ச் இருந்தாலும், கல்ச்சரில் என்ன சேஞ்ச் இருந்தாலும், சிவிலைசேஷனில் சேஞ்ச் இருந்தாலும், the ruling partyல change இருந்தாலும், that is the change in dynasty, rulers change ஆனாலும் there is a commerce that is in existence. அது commerce activity continue ஆயிட்டே தான் இருந்துச்சு. The Tamil Nadu is the founder of trade and commerce, which is evidenced in various ancient literature like Sangam. So Tamil Nadu is the founder of trade. Okay. The whole of commerce activity emerged from barter system into a multi-dimensional and multi-phased scientific system consisting of cores like monetary system, mail order business, hire purchase system, installment purchase system, and so on. In a technology-driven society today, again the course of commerce activities is heading for a cashless system through e-commerce, which means the business activity enabled through electronic modes like online trade, mobile banking, and e-commerce marketing. So the commerce activity emerged from barter system. Then it took the multiple dimensions and multi-phased scientific systems like monetary system, mail order business, hire purchase system, installment purchase system, and so on. It takes the multiple dimensions and multi-phased. Okay. Today again we are heading towards cashless system. We are heading towards cashless system. There is a e-commerce websites. We buy the goods in that e-commerce websites. We pay the cash in terms of the banking transactions. By mobile banking we pay the cash. So there is a cashless system. Today we are heading into the cashless system. Okay. Then everyone should know about the historical background of growth and development of commerce. That is, the earliest trading population of India was Indus Valley people who used the word trade. So Indus Valley civilization is the oldest civilization in India. So that people used the word trade. The word Vaniyam or Vanipam would have had a Dravidian origin. So the word Dravidian is originated from the South Indian. So South India the Dravidian. So the word Vanigam and Vanipam அது எங்க இருந்து உருவாச்சு அப்படின்னா Dravidian origin, that is South India. South India தான் வந்து உருவாச்சு இந்த word Vanigam and Vanipam. The early Tamils produced their products and goods in their lands and bartered their surplus, and that is how trade came into existence. So early Tamil people produced goods in their land and they barter the surplus goods. So extra இருக்கிறத அவங்க barter exchange பண்ணிட்டாங்க. So that's how the barter system came into existence. The word Vanigam has been widely used in Sangam literature like Purananuru and Tirukural. So Sangam literature la the word வந்து யூஸ் ஆயிருக்கு, அதிகபட்சமா யூஸ் ஆகி இருக்கு. தட் வணிகம் ஒரு வேர்ட் வந்து யூஸ் ஆகிருக்கு. தட் தமிழ் பிராமி இன்ஸ்கிரிப்ஷன்ஸ் ஃப்ரம் அழகர்மலை, புகழூர், மண்குளம் and Sri Lanka illustrate the fact that trade in gold, oil, plug, cloth, etc. was conducted during the early stage. So there is a Brahmi inscription. So Brahmi எழுத்துக்கள் சொல்லுவாங்கல. So inscription, there will be a inscriptions in these places. So that is the evidence of the trade took place in the goods like gold, oil, plug, clothes, etc. in the early age. Okay. Trade in Sangam period was both internal and external, but it was conducted by means of barter. So within the country, trade irundhuchu, outside the country there is a trade in Sangam period. Trade was one of the major means of linking various regions in the medieval period. So trade தான் வந்து ஒரு ரீஜியனையும் இன்னொரு ரீஜியனையும் வந்து லிங்க் பண்ற ஒரு மேஜர் கான்செப்டா இருந்துச்சு trade தான். So Sangam work refers to the great traders, their caravans, security force, markets, marts and guilds of such great traders. So Sangam literature refers the great traders, their caravans means the vehicles used to trade பண்றதுக்கு கூடிய vehicles தான். இப்போ வந்து வேற பிளேஸ்க்கு வந்து அவங்க ட்ரேட் பண்ணணும் போறாங்கன்னா ஸோ அந்த வெஹிக்கிள் யூஸ் பண்ணி அவங்க ட்ரேட் பண்ணுவாங்க. ட்ரேட் பண்றதுக்கு they use that vehicle. ட்ரேட் பண்றதுக்கு போவாங்க அந்த வெஹிக்கிள் தான், அதுதான் caravans. So security forces, markets, marts and guilds. guildsனா சங்கம், ஒரு சங்கமும் அவங்களுக்கு வச்சிருந்தாங்க. வணிகத்துக்கு சங்கம், ட்ரேடுக்கு சங்கம் இருந்துச்சு. ஸோ அதுதான் கிரேட் ட்ரேடர்ஸா இருந்தாங்க அந்த 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 பீரியட்ல. The important articles which then hilly tribes offered to their neighbors is exchange where honey and roots and fruits. So hilly people, மலையில வாழக்கூடியவங்க வந்து மவுண்டைன்ஸ் அந்த மாதிரி மலையில வாழக்கூடிய மக்கள் அவங்க வந்து என்ன பேட்டர் பண்ணாங்க, what they exchanges honey, roots and fruits. They will barter these items, these products, while pastoral people offered cattle, milk and milk products. Cattle, milk and milk products. So pastoral people na vandu who grow cattle, that is sheep, goat, buffaloes, etc. So they sell, they exchange that milk, cattle or milk products. So cattle served as the money for sometimes during the same period. So instead of money, cattle is the medium of exchange for certain period. So money ku badala cattle medium of exchange use பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தாங்க certain period la. Most of the inland trade were done in salt as a medium of exchange under barter mode. So in inland trade la, most inland trade la என்னாச்சு, salt யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. barter system க்கு they use salt. இப்போ வேல்யூ, இப்போ 1 kg salt அதோட வேல்யூக்கு வேற ஏதாவது கூட்ஸ் தருவாங்க, அதுதான் barter system. ஸோ மீடியம் ஆஃப் மணியை சால்ட்டா யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. ஸோ then they used paddy to serve as a medium of exchange for a certain period. paddyயும் medium of exchange இருந்துச்சு மணிக்கு பதிலா. There was dependence and interdependence among the people in matter of trade and commerce. So அங்க டிபெண்டன்ஸ் இருந்துச்சு, ஒருத்தவங்க டிபெண்ட் பண்ணி இருந்தாங்க. ட்ரேட்லயும் காமர்ஸ்லயும் there is a dependence. Then barter system cemented their relationship internally, while coins were used later for the purpose of exchange of goods in external trade. So later barter system cemented their relationship internally, while coins வந்து emerge ஆச்சு லேட்டரா for the medium of exchange of goods in external trade. Okay, the next we see about that trade and traders in the Pandya's dynasty. So Pandya's king dynasty அவங்க ரூல் பண்ணும்போது, Pandya's king ரூல் பண்ணும்போது trade and traders எல்லாம் எப்படி இருந்தாங்கன்னு பார்க்கலாம். Trade and commerce was so common to Pandya's dynasty. Information collected from the diaries of the foreign traveler, Voyagers mariners and adventures of the ancient world highlighted the prosperity of trade in the Pandya dynasty. ஸோ அவங்க புக்ல வந்து நிறைய அட்வென்ச்சர்ஸ், நிறைய டிராவலர்ஸ், ஃபாரின் டிராவலர்ஸ் வந்து அவங்க புக்ல ரெஃபர் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. எவ்வளோ ப்ராஸ்பரிட்டியா வளமோட பாண்டிய டைனாஸ்டி இருந்துச்சு அப்படின்னு, வளமோட இருந்துச்சு. அவங்க ட்ரேடோட ஒரு வளம் எப்படி இருந்துச்சு அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்க. ப்ராஸ்பரிட்டி அப்படி எப்படி இருந்துச்சுன்னு அந்த புக்ஸ்ல வந்து தே ரெஃபர்டு. தி ஹீப்ரூ அண்ட் லாட்டின் லிட்ரேச்சர் archaeological remains in Aden, Alexandria, Java, Sumatra and even China had supported to the fact of existence of trade network in the Pandya's country. So இவங்க எல்லாமே சொல்றாங்க, சைனா, சுமத்ரா, then Latin literatures, okay, archaeological எல்லாமே அங்க எவிடன்ஸ் இருக்கு. There is a trade network in the Pandya dynasty. Pandyan countryல வந்து ட்ரேட் இருந்துச்சு அப்படின்னு ட்ரேட் நெட்வொர்க் இருந்துச்சு இதெல்லாம் ஒரு எவிடன்ஸ். Trade in copper, cloth, salt, flowers, sandalwood, fish, paddy, cereals, pearls, etc. flourished during the year period. The place where the goods were sold are called the Angadi in the year period. So the marketplace where the goods are bought and sold, and the place பேருனா அங்காடி, அங்காடின்னு சொல்றாங்க. Day market was called as Nalangadi, while the night market are called Alangadi. So day time la run பண்ணக்கூடிய market பேர் வந்து Nalangadi and night time la market பேரு Alangadi. Okay. According to Saint poet Ilango in சிலப்பதிகாரம் மதுரை காஞ்சி. So மதுரை காஞ்சியிலயும் இருக்கு இது, சிலப்பதிகாரத்திலும் இருக்கு. He described Madurai as இருபெரு Nyamat, meaning sleepless city due to the round the clock business activity. So மதுரையை வந்து எப்படி டிஸ்கிரைப் பண்றாங்க அப்படின்னா அது தூங்கா நகரம், ஸ்லீப்லெஸ் சிட்டி describe பண்றாங்க. Good morning students. Today we see about coastal trade in ancient Tamil Nadu. Big cities like Poompuhar had the Maruvarupakam, that is inland town, and Pattinampakam, that is coastal town, had markets and bazaars where many merchants met one another for the purpose of selling or buying different kinds of commodities and foodstuffs. So these are the places where the merchants many merchants met each other and they sell and buy different kinds of commodities and foodstuffs. The inland city is Maruvarupakam and coastal city is Pattinampakam. These are the places where the many merchants meet in Poompuhar. Okay. The port towns like Tondi, Korkai, Puhar and Murisi were always seen as a busy with marts and markets with activities related to imports and exports. So these cities are always seen as busy. Like in these cities, the import and export activities take place. So these cities are said to be a busy cities. In such as brisk trade, people of the coastal region engaged themselves in coastal trade and developed the intercontinental trade contact. So the people who are living in the coastal regions, they trade in the intercontinental. They do the contact and they trade in the intercontinental. Okay. That is from one continent to another continent. They were engaged in different kinds of fishing, pearls and conches. Conches means sang and produced salt and built ships. Boats like Padagu, Timil, Thoni, Ambu, Vadambunai, etc. were used to cross rivers for domestic trade. So these kinds of boats are used for the domestic trade, that is the inside the country, inside from one state to different states, for trade from one state to different states. So these boats are used for the domestic purpose. The boats like Kallam, Marakalam, Pangam, Navai, etc. were used for crossing oceans for the foreign trade. So these boats are used for the purpose of foreign trade. Next we see about the role of government during ancient Tamil Nadu. Okay, foreigners who transacted business were known as Yavarnas. Arabs who traded with Tamils are called Jonahar. Pattinampalai praised Kaveri Poompattinam as a city where various foreigners of high civilization speaking different languages assembled to transact business with the support of the kingdom. So in Pattinampalai, they praised about Kaveri Poompattinam city. In this city, the different foreigners, different civilization, high civilization, the different language speaking peoples were met and transacted their business in support of the kingdom. The role of state in trade related to two aspects, namely adequate infrastructures to sustain the trade and administrative machinery for taxation. There is a the state role is to develop the infrastructure to sustain the trade activities and administrative machinery for taxation. They put the tax for the goods and services. During the Sangam period, the main trade routes were passing through thick forest over Western Ghats. Okay, the state protected the merchant caravans on these trades route from robbers and wildlife. So the state protects the merchants caravans. Caravans means I already said that is the vehicles used for trade. So state protected caravans from the robbers and wild animals. Main roads known as Peruvali were built for surface transportation. So, for land transportation, the Peruvali is used. Beside, state expanded infrastructure for shipping such as ports, lighthouse, warehouse, etc. to promote overseas trade. So, to promote the overseas from one country to another country, the trade from one country to another country, the state expanded the infrastructure for shipping, ports, and warehouse, lighthouse, etc. Many such ports were developed during the Sangam period. Kaveri Pumbatinnam was the chief port of the kingdom of Cholas, while Nagapattinam, Marakkanam, Arikamedi, etc. were other small ports on east coast. Similarly, Pandyas developed Korkai, Saliyur, Kayal, Marungayur Pattinam and Kumari for foreign trade. The state governments installed checkposts to collect customs along the highways and the ports. So, to collect the custom duty, the state government installed the checkpost for highways and the ports. Contribution of Kautilya's to trade. Kautilya's Astasastras describes the economy in Mauryan time. This brought out history of marketing practiced some 2000 years ago. So, Kautilya's Astasastra is the book which describes there is the economy in Mauryan times itself. Then there is the practice of marketing in the 2000 years ago, which is described in the Kautilya's Astasastras. According to Kautilya, trade in medieval India was centralized. There is a centralized trade in the medieval India. Since the commodities produced could not be sold in the location of the production, the state designed certain places for selling the commodities. So the goods are not directly sell in the place where it is produced. There is a separate place which is designed by the government to selling the commodity. So in that place itself, the merchants have to sell, the traders have to sell or buy their products, their commodities. It levied duties on goods bought into the cities and could be sold after the payment of duty. So, for two goods which are bought into the city, we have to pay the merchants, traders have to pay their taxes. They levy taxes, they levy the custom duties and all. And for selling also, they have to pay the tax. After that, they have to sell the goods. Only certain merchants were authorized to engage in trade to sell at price fixed by the chief controller of the state trade. So the only authorized person who can fix the price and sell the product, the price fixed by the certain self-controller of state trading. The profit margin allowed for traders ranged between 5% for indigenous products. That is, indigenous product is the product which is produced inside our state. So, for that, they have to fix the profit for 5%. And for imported goods. The goods are bought from the other countries. We import the goods from the other countries, bought from the other countries. So for that products, the profit percentage is 10. Okay. Imports of foreign goods was engaged in encouraged to enhance the standard of living of the people. To enhance the standard of living of the people, the import from the foreigners encouraged. Okay, the Kautilya gave importance for the state in relation to treasury, taxation, industry, commerce, and agriculture, and conservation of natural resources. Astasastra focused on certain of wealth as the means to promote the well-being of the state. He advocated maintenance of perfect balance between state management and people's welfare through trading activity. So through trading activity, the management of the state and the people's welfare will be maintained. That is advised in the book called Kautilya's Astasastra.